This tutorial will show you how to select and buffer parcels for creating mailing labels. I will walk you through two examples, one using the buffer option and one without buffering. For our first example, let's zoom to the town of Empire. So from our bookmark list, we've got one for Empire. Let's zoom in a little more. Now let's say that we want to produce mailing labels for all the properties in these 8 blocks here, 2 to the north of Park Avenue and 2 to the south of Park Avenue. The first thing we need to do is to access the Select and Buffer Parcels workflow from the I Want To menu. So from this I Want To button, click on that. And about halfway down we have our Select and Buffer Parcels workflow. Click here. So two new panels have appeared on our screen. The Select Parcels panel on the left, and on the bottom we have our Results panel. Now you can adjust the size of this Results panel. Just hover your mouse at the edge of the panel and you'll notice the cursor has changed to a two-headed arrow. Click and drag to adjust the height of this panel. So let's make this a little smaller so we can see a little more of our map. Now we're ready to select our parcels. So from the Select Parcels panel, we have tools you can use for selecting parcels. This first one, Select by Point, will only allow you to select one parcel, which is not useful in our example now. For the second example, when we are buffering a parcel, we'll be using this. These other 5 options allow you to select multiple parcels at one time. Select using multiple points, we could use that, but we'd have to click on every parcel in this 8-block area to get our desired selected set. Pretty tedious. These other 4 work much better, where you can select parcels by drawing a line, polygon, or rectangle. For this example, a polygon is probably our best choice, so click on that to make that tool active. Now let's click in the upper left-hand corner of our group of blocks. Bring a cursor down to the upper right-hand corner, click again. Click on the lower right, and at the lower left, double-click to finish our selection. All the properties that are at least partially covered by the polygon that we just drew will be included in our mailing labels list. So let's click OK. All the parcels that are now shaded in blue will be included in our mailing list. But you'll notice besides our 8 blocks, these right-of-way parcels for the Empire roads and the US 40 road have also been selected, which we're not interested in. So let's remove those. For this, we'll use our Select Using Multiple Points tool. So click on that. Then on our map, let's click on the parcels we want to remove. So we'll click on these right-of-way parcels to the south of US 40. Click on this one at US 40, and let's click on the one up north of US 40. Also, there's this parcel that's part of the Sir John mining claim that we're not interested in, so let's click on that also to remove that one. Click Remove. And now we have only those parcels in our 8 blocks selected. So at this point, let's click Continue. We're not interested in buffering in this example, so we'll leave the buffer distance at 0 and click Continue. Now we have one more chance to add or select parcels if we wanted to change our selected set. If we wanted to do that, you click on the Modify Selection. If all you want to do is select those parcels and not run the report, we'd want to click on the Select Results button. But in this example, we'll want to run a report to create the mailing labels, so click on the drop-down arrow here, select Avery Mailing Labels, click on that, and now click on Run Report. This will take a couple seconds to produce our labels report. There we go. Click on View Report. And here are our mailing labels. At this point, just load your printer with your Avery mailing label sheets and send this report to your printer, and the addresses should line up exactly on the labels. Let's look at one more example using the buffering option. So first, let's unselect our parcels from our first example. And now let's head up to St. Mary's. We have a bookmark for that. And let's zoom in a little more here. So for this example, let's say we want to send out a mailing to all the properties within 500 feet from the firehouse in St. Mary's. And here's the firehouse right here. So, as before, click on I want to, select and buffer parcels. Now we'll use this first tool, select by point. Click on the parcel where the firehouse is, which is right here. Click OK. That parcel's been selected. Click Continue. Now for buffer distance, let's type in 500. And we have some other options for units. Besides feet, we can choose meters, yards, miles, kilometers. We'll stick with feet for this example. And we have a preview button. Let's click on that. This will show us exactly what parcels will be covered in our 500-foot buffer. Let's zoom out a little bit to see the full buffer. Now to actually select those, we need to press the Continue button. So as before, it's also selected our St. Mary's roads right-of-way, so we'll want to remove those. So before we run our report, let's click on Modify Selection. And let's remove that right-of-way parcel. So click on Select a Point, click here, Remove. Okay, let's demonstrate a couple of these other tools here. Say we want to remove these 3 parcels to the south of Aspen Road and add these 2 parcels over here to our selected set. So let's zoom in a little bit first. Now to remove these 3 parcels, let's use our Select by Polyline tool. Click on this left parcel, move the cursor over to the rightmost parcel, double click. Those 3 have been captured. Click on Remove. And for these 2 parcels we want to add, let's use the Select by Rectangle tool. Click and drag a box that covers those two parcels. Release. Click Add. Okay, let's go back to our previous extent. And if we're satisfied with our selection set, click Continue. We've already done our buffer, so just click Continue again. And as before, select Avery Mailing Labels, Run Report. View report. And here's our mailing list for those parcels in St. Mary's.